Welcome to Nollywood Broadcasting Service. I'm your host, Cyprian Johnson. My special guest today is Ernest Nmanwoke, all the way from Japan. Nollywood is now in Japan, and this is going to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Ernest, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Could you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
My name is Ernest Nmanwoke. I based in Japan here for a very long time. And I'm an actor. I'm a Nollywood actor. I also I'm an actor here in Japan. I'm into Japan entertainment industry for over 9 years now. So, and then I used to fly back to Nigeria to make some movie. So I've acted some movie in Nigeria, and I shoot some in Japan here as well. So, so that is it I can say for now about myself. I'm from Eastern region of Nigeria.
Let's talk about Japan. How did you get down to Japan and taking Nollywood all along with you? It's a country where maybe the people are not used to this type of movies. So is it not very difficult to introduce Nollywood to the Japanese people?
Yes, actually, it's very difficult because to start with, I'm into Nollywood even before I traveled to study business administration in Malaysia. Then from there I came to Japan. So the movie is in my blood. I attempted producing a movie far back 1993. So when I was making this movie, I made it up to demo level, and I wrote the story then I got some directors who helped me out, and I played the lead character because it's all about from escaping from Cameroon prison to escaping to Nigeria. So I titled the movie then Real Deal, because we have a problem in Bakassi there. So by the time the movie is about to come, my visa was ready, and I was thinking to just go and finish my school and come back, but since then, from there I relocated to Japan. So in Japan, I started doing sports because I do sports very well. Then from sports, I get involved with Japan television and movie acting, and started doing TV jobs, and also I do some movies that has to do with the Nollywood and Hollywood. Comes Hollywood. We shoot in Hawaii, in Japan. So from there, I begin to see that there is also opportunity for me to make a Nollywood movie here in Japan. But the challenges I was having was the language barrier, like you said, and also the cameramen here. They have their own angles. They don't have Nollywood angles. So it was a very big challenge for me, because I act and I direct those movies. So it's difficult for me to, sometimes I'm always looking at the cameraman, what he was doing, and if he's not doing what I want, I'll go off the camera and handle the camera myself, if it is a scene that will have so many crowds. So I begin to act, because I don't really speak the language so well. Because where I lived before, I was speaking Bahasa so well that I can sing with it. So coming into Japan, the language became a problem for me to mix up the two languages that I've been used to for over 4 years. So then, little by little, I started getting into Japanese language, but it's so difficult. So to tell the camera man, the DOP, what to do for me exactly is difficult, because some certain angles that we use, even when I ask them to use it, they will tell me, no, like, give me tight close-up. So they will say, no, you're cutting the head up. I say, leave it like that. That's how I like it. So it become the first movie I tried to produce, that was 1999. 2009, sorry. 2009, then a big challenge, because, in fact, it took me like 2-3 months and we are moving from location. It's very, Japan is very expensive country where nothing goes for free.
Okay.
Every step you make, you pay for it. So it's a big challenge in the sense of communication, but the most challenging person was communication, because even I have like my first movie, I casted 18 characters, Japanese. So also some of them don't speak English, and I have to manage to cast them to a role that they could not be able to speak much English on it. So that's how I'm pushing it. It's so hard until this time it's getting less, because I've done like 5 movies here, and one is already in the market, the Brothers Trust, and the Brothers Betrayer is coming up, supposed to be coming out on February, but I think the marketer will just want to delay it a bit. So it's going to be out, and my first movie is Paul and Silas, which we did 2009, but just in Nigeria, in Nollywood only. But I tried to speak Japanese in that movie with Mr. Ibu, and some local was in that movie. So it was a very nice movie there.
I dey based in Lagos. I know they stay for Lekki. I know they wear khaki, but me they run things with Brasaki on the khaki. Khaki music.
Lagos, Eko Nibaje.
Yeah. Okay. What's your name, please?
My name is Tachiko Onuchuku.
Yes. The young lady close to you there, she's a translator. And she's going to translate.
It's okay. She is, and in fact, I'm giving her some job. Actually, like when I shot my first, second, third movie, and the ones I've done, if she was around then, it would have been easier for me to talk to the actors and actresses that I use then, and even the DOP, because the problem I have with the DOP is translation problem, because when I say something, they will not understand it.
Okay. Now, that means the movies you are shooting in Japan, we would like to know the number of movies you are shooting in Japan. Is it for the Japanese audience?
The movies, I'm shooting it like Japan and Nigeria. So it's a kind of the story, like my first movie which I titled Brother Trust, that is in the market now. Actually, it's not my first movie, but it came out first because people like it. That was my third movie. So the first movie was Welcome to Japan, Anny Obodo. Then I shot Brother Trust, and then I shoot Made in Japan. So the movie, I always make sure that the story starts from Nigeria. I will first of all create the story give the basic story from Nollywood background, then down to Japan. Then when I did, some Japanese part of it, I will end it up in Nigeria. So that's why when I finish shooting Japan part of my movies, I will go back and shoot in Nollywood. Either location, I will choose any location, like the Ojemba Family and Friends that I finished. I first of all shoot Nigerian part in Asaba, Owerri. We took some locations, Now I'm shooting the Japan part. Well, shoot from part 1 to 6. So I want to make like the road of the movie. So that's what I started last 2 weeks, and I'm working on that. So she will help me to translate. Come to your question. I have in mind that the problem I have for the movie is subtitle and subtitle. So to subtitle the movie is very, very difficult here, because the Japanese people, even if somebody understands English, it takes another courage to sit down and work on that very project. So now that I find somebody that is interested to work, it will help the translation and the subtitling of those movies into market.
Okay, if you are subtitling all these movies that you are shooting in Japan into Japanese language, that means you've got the intention to have to premiere your movies in Japan, or to create a festival of Nollywood in Japan. Which one?
Yes, I'm working towards that because a lot of Nigerian producers and directors and A-list artists, they have spoke to me about it, that I should help them market their movies in Japan, and I told them, okay, I'm working on that, because why I promised them that I'm working on that is the subtitle issue. Once I get the subtitle done, I will push so many movies that I feel the Japanese people will be interested in. So they like watching movie in the theater. They don't. That's their message. That's why the market is big. So if they can be interested in it, they don't hear Indian language, but they watch Indian movies so much. It just someone started it, so I decided that we will bring Nollywood and introduce it to them, and they will start to love the movie. We have a very good movie that they will pick interest in because they love Africa so well.
Wonderful initiative. I have to talk to your translator now, because I read in her resume that she's very good in marketing and in management. Now, tell us, do you think that African movies can be accepted can draw a big audience for a premiere? I mean,
Yes, I think so. Because I think African movies are very similar to Korean movie, the story, and you see, like 5 years ago, Korean movies are getting popular here because it's kind of similar to old Japanese movie, like passionate love story, or very how do they say,
Contemporary.
yeah, something like that. And unfortunately, there's so many Africans here and who get married Japanese, and most of Japanese cannot speak English, so maybe they want to understand their husband culture or entertainment or something like that. But if I can provide them the movie or any kind of music or entertainment with Japanese subtitle, they can sympathize that they understand well what's going on, and I want them also enjoy African movie or culture or something like that. So since I got married with Nigerian guy, and I do enjoy watching Nollywood with him, but I can understand English, so I can understand little. But you see, when you watch movie, also you can understand their culture through those entertainments. So I'm so much passionate that why not? If I can help them, that'll be great. So that's why I start try to do it. I'm here right now.
that's wonderful. I can understand what obtains in Nigeria can also be appreciated in Japan in terms of culture. So that's very interesting. Am I right in that aspect? Do the Japanese find their own values in the Nollywood Nigerian movies?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, very. Yeah.
The Japanese people, I think, they will, because actually I'm so surprised that so many Nigerian languages are crashed with Japanese language as well. So when I hear those words, I'm like, especially the Delta, the Edos, you know, in Japan, they say domo domo. And, you know, in Nigeria, you know, the Viennese people, they say domo domo, the same. So, and I remember when I shoot Brothers Trust, they asked me to speak Japanese. At the end of that, you know, my brother was like taking my money. When I'm sending money, he said, it's a true story actually, but it's a true story what happened late 80s. So the guy was in overseas sending money, and when he come back, the brother has already squandered the money and he jumped into the river and died. So it happens to be that I know the family very well. I know the guy in question. So I have to, you know, use my brain to make that story. People don't understand how it goes. So when they say speak Japanese, and I said I speak to the extent, and I was like, Ugochukwu was the character name for my brother. I was saying, where is Ugochukwu? Ugochukwu Doko. So I said, Baga, you know, and I find out that some of the words I used there, they just pick the ones. You know, the last word I used was also the Nigerian people were using it, but I don't know. So there are so many similar names also. So many names that we call, especially Igbo names, and they also have it here, like Shika, same spelling, everything. So I believe that if we get Japanese market, it will be very huge for Nollywood. The number one reason I think so is that here there is nothing like piracy. Nobody copy anything. When America release their movie, they are not scared about Japanese market. They're scared about China market and Chinese and maybe Indian. So that's why they first of all go there and premiere their movies and put it to the market. Then even sell market their movie in America before coming to Japan. Because I remember some of my friends in Japan here, they would travel to America to go and watch the movie. I asked them, why don't you wait? They say it will take 1 month to come to Japan. So when it comes into Japan, all the cinema will be open for the movie. So that piracy issue is one of the advantages that any movie you put in a cinema here, nobody is going to copy it and put into the market.
Now, let me come back to you. So, now describe your early encounter with Nollywood as a young actor and its problematic aspect today as you say it.
When I first started, it was few years after Living in Bondage was created. Can you hear me?
Yeah, correctly.
Okay. So, and I have that passion. So when I wrote a story and I gave it to one director then called Estes Ahanda in River State. So he's also a big producer now. So then he screenplayed the story and I played the lead character, even though I don't know much then. But I played the lead character and it was so nice because when I went back to show them the movie after many years, you know, they were like, where is this movie? I've never watched this movie in the market. Well, I've never seen this movie. So I said, yes, just the demo. I could not finish. So they said I should produce this movie that it will be hot because of the way we shoot the movie then. And, you know, after that time, it was very easy in the sense that everybody was excited to be in the movie. And even the people that I acted Paul and Silas with, I brought them into the movie industry then, including one of the guys. So, and we lost contact. So it was when I watched their movie that I find out, I saw them on YouTube. So I said, this is my friend that I introduced into movie industry. They're making it. So I have to ask for their number and call them. And when I went back to continue doing Nollywood movies, I found out that there are a lot of challenges and a lot of things I read. I always visit online Nigeria where they talk about Nollywood stories. So I read a lot of news about Nollywood, but I didn't believe all of them. But also, when I went back to shoot in Nollywood, I understand that so many things is happening there as well, and they are also doing good.
Okay. Now, let's talk about your movies and which of them would you say made impact in terms of viewers in Japan, if we should talk about Japan again, Europe, and African countries, precisely Nigeria. I mean, your movies. How many movies have you shot? Because you talked about living in bondage. That means you've been in the industry for the past 22 years now.
Yeah, but I cannot say that I was there throughout because I just said when the movie industry started.
Okay, Living in Bondage
Yeah.
was one of the recognized movies.
Movie.
Okay.
So after that, maybe let's say 2 years after or 3 years, I attempted to produce my own movie,
Okay.
which was the real deal.
Okay.
So because I traveled out, I could not finish that movie, and I've told the director then. I called him. I said I still want that my first movie to be out.
Okay.
He said he has lost the story. I said, but I have it in my brain that I gave you the story. You never. It's still with me that I will give him this whole story again.
Okay.
So that movie. After that, let me say that when I went out from Nigeria and then I arrived in Japan, I stayed so much. I was doing Japanese movie and doing some commercial TV shows. So it takes me time to fix back with Nollywood again.
Okay.
So 2009, I made a movie Paul and Silas.
Okay, Paul and
Then Paul and Silas. That one it's also with key actors like Mr. Ibu Samloko, late Samloko, and some big artists like female artists are there too, and Paul and Silas himself. Then I made another movie, Love or Cash. Actually, these two movies, I was not the one who produced them.
Okay.
We teamed up to produce the movie. So we are like 3 people that produced the movie. So we made Love or